Hello everyone. Let's read a famous poem by P.B. Shelley, Ozymandias. P.B. Shelley, Percy Bysshe Shelley, born in 1792, was a revolutionary English poet of the Romantic period. He loved freedom and strongly disliked greedy kings and dictators. Once in 1817, the British Museum got a giant broken piece of a statue of the Egyptian pharaoh Ramesses II. This inspired Shelley to write the poem. And through this poem, Shelley wanted to show no matter how powerful a king thinks he is, time and nature will eventually destroy him and his empire. So let's start. I met a traveler from an antique land who said, "Two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert." Now, see here, the poet has used a smart storytelling technique to mock at the political rulers. The poet says that he once met a traveler from an ancient land, that is Egypt, who tells him a story. The traveler tells him that he saw two giant stone legs standing in the middle of the barren desert with no torso. Torso means the upper body attached to it. That is, it was trunkless. Half sunk, a shattered visage lies. In this line, the poet says that the upper body is missing, but the statue's broken face, that is the visage, lies half buried in the desert sand nearby. And the face is cracked and ruined, means damaged, showing how helpless the king's memory is today, whose frown and wrinkled lips and sneer of cold command. Now, through this statue, Perrault's cruel personality is depicted. The expressions of frowning, a wrinkled lip, and a cold sneer show that he was an arrogant, heartless dictator who looked down on others. Tell that its sculpture well those passions read, yet which yet survive, stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them and the heart that fed. Now, through this line, the artist's genius means how perfectly he has made the statue that is depicted. The sculpture understood the king's real emotions, cruel emotions, and perfectly printed them onto the lifeless stones. Means he created real expressions on the statue. The hand that mocked. Here, the word mocked has double meaning, which means to copy perfectly, means he copied the real expressions of the king on the statue. And there is another meaning that the artist silently made fun of the king's pride by carving his cruel nature. The heart that fed. This refers to the Pharaoh's heart, which fed on power, arrogance, and cruelty, ignoring the sufferings of his subjects, means he ignored the sufferings of his people. This shows his boastful nature. And on the pedestal, these words appear: "My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair." The pedestal, that is the base of the statue, carries his words, means the pedestal is still there, and the words inscripted on it are: "My name is Ozymandias, Kings of Kings." Here, Kings of Kings. Through these words, he challenges other mighty rulers to look at his vast achievements and lose hope of ever matching him. Means nobody can ever match him. But there is a huge situational irony here. He tells others to look at his works, but there are absolutely no works left to see. Everything has turned to dust. Nothing beside remains round the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the iron and level stands stretched far away. Here, the contrast is striking. Immediately after the pharaoh's loud boast, the poem drops into quiet silence. Nothing remains except a colossal wreck. Colossal wreck means broken pieces of stone. The endless flat sand dunes symbolize that nature and time are the ultimate rulers. They have swallowed the king's entire empire, treating everyone equally in death. So the powerful king or the ruler can also not defeat time and nature. I hope you have understood the poem. Please subscribe to remain updated on my channel. Thank you.